Politicians are very interested people, and citizens must not forget that the hallmark of politics is the citizen and not the political parties. And this is quite instructive because a lot of us pitch tent to political parties, even though we are not card-carrying members of those political parties. So it really doesn't matter whether it's APC or PDP or ZPC or whatever it is. What you must be concerned about is your own welfare. And your loyalty must be, first of all, to the Nigerian nation, to you, and to no other person else. The politicians are in the game, and all that matters to them is their votes. They can say anything to win anything. I mean, a politician is like that man trying to woo that woman. He can say all the sweet nothings, empty promises that may not necessarily be meant. But the reality is that politicians can say anything about votes, and it is important for us citizens to be able to see through their words. If that politician promises you 7% GDP growth year on year for the next 4 years, you got to ask the question, how does he intend to do it? If he tells you he's going to build a hospital in one of the 774 local governments of this country, you should ask the question, where's the money coming from? Given the fact that our health budget is just a mere pittance. If it tells you he's going to revamp our educational system, insist on the details. Words are cheap and anyone can say it. In my part of the world, we say ofelum. Words are cheap and it is so easy that it can never be fully spent. So we must be wise and we must hold these politicians to task and refuse to be a tool in their hands. Don't let them mess you up and down. Don't let them say sweet nothings and in the recesses of their hearts, they just jest and make fun of us. We must be concerned about our country. And like I said earlier on, our loyalty must first of all be to the Nigerian nation and then to you. You must care about your country. It doesn't matter if you naturalize and become a citizen of America or United Kingdom. The truth is that at the end of the day, you'll be described as an American of the Nigerian descent. So that heritage that you hold is part of your identity, and it's important that you reflect the hallmark of your country. Do not let the politicians push you from pillar to post. When they come, see through the smokescreen of their words. And this is particularly dear to me because when you go on social media, you find people take camps where of all huge amounts of money that have been stashed and stolen away by politicians. And it's unthinkable that fellow citizens would defend the indefensible. How can you even take sides with a politician that has carted away your money? I mean, is it your father? Is it your mother? What connection have you got to this politician that you have decided to take it upon yourself to defend him? Even his lawyers cannot defend him as much as you have defended him in public circles. But see, this politician doesn't necessarily have to care about you. You must put your agenda first and let that be on the front burner. Politics is a game, and it's a game of numbers. The reality is that most of us in the social media space forget that we are in the minority. Those who ultimately vote are those in the villages, and some of these politicians know. It doesn't matter what we say on the social media or the internet, they don't care. They know that once they go to their villages, they would win the votes. So we must see through their smokescreen. Beyond screaming and brawling on social media, we must come out with ways on how to actively engage the government. And we have to be grassroots people. If you cannot take care of your driver, if you cannot even as little as greet that domestic help on the street, how can you influence them to vote for the right candidate? Too many of us are caught up in some form of hubris that we forget that everybody is an equal stakeholder in the Nigerian entity. If Nigeria were a company, each citizen would have only one share. The Senate President has one share. The President has just one share. The Vice President, the governors have one share each. They have the same share that you and I have. And that's why we must value this potent tool that we have, the power of the vote. When they come negotiate, tell them what would you say and what would you do that will warrant this precious gift of my vote. If they cannot convince you enough, don't cast your vote for them. Be involved. Be involved in your government. And ultimately, together we can salvage this country from the ruins of today. It's been Pathways. God bless you. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.